First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Ready? Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Breaker on the hop. You got tight. You got tight. You got tight right there.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Brings up second and 12 at the 23-yard line.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
That's going to be a long day. 6 guys. Check 6 guys.
Working out of the gun. Cousins. Throw left side on target to Thielen. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9.
Hey, no, easy. Let's get some penetration. Ford is Mike. Ford is Mike. Bring it. Bring it.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And the Lions will have excellent field position here as they take over 1st and 10.
He goes, set! 180. Right there, 54 Mike. Come on, D! He's checking. Crash. Alert 3. White. Alert 3. Look at him.
On 1st down, it's Stafford. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's James. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, Pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Hey, tighten down. There you go.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
So the delay of game penalty backs him up. It's now 2nd and 7.
Man up, D. Trick the edge. Come. Alert! Check, Mike, 50, 32. 54. You ain't doing nothing today. You ain't doing nothing today.
Throwing is Stafford. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on 3rd. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Right side caught by Jackson. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps them pick up the first. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup.
First and 10 at the 36-yard line.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Watch the backer. Check 3. Hey, check 24. Watch 24. Undercrush.
Throwing again is Stafford. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
I smell fear in that offense. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54.
Stafford on first down. This is caught. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Kenny Golladay, his 4th touchdown on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves. And not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
You're trapped, you're trapped.
Now Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Silver. First. Mike 51. Watch the slant.
Cousins on 3rd and 2. Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game, because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
That one 28 yards on the ground. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. Right back to him on 1st down. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA and now a great career in the NFL.
21. Jim.
On 2nd down, Wooten looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13.
He goes, set, lady. Check, 55, Mike. Let's go, tackle, let's go. We got this. Shift. Hey, alert 3. 69. Crunch. Good on.
3rd and long. It's Stafford. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
At their own 5-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first two drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now, and I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Now Cook. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. The tackle there by Quandre Diggs.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5 at the 9-yard line.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter as they are looking at a 2nd and 5 situation.
You. Deuce.
On second down now, it's Cook. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
And it brings up 3rd down.
Focus. 180. Get your swerve on. Through. 44's Mike. Check. You don't want none, baby. You don't want none. Hey, you don't want to see me. You don't want it.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
The hunt. 180. 44's the Mike. It's our field. Hey, it's our house. Hey, Steamer. 44. Mike, 44. Hey, Alpha. Fofo's the Mike. Mike's Fofo. Here we go, D.
To throw is Cousins. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
54's Mike. Check. Watch 54. Greystone, travel. Watch the run. Check.
They'll try the left side. Wooten about 3 yards there to the 27.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
59. Joker.
Here's Stafford. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A great play there, with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead.
And that's another route that defenders would vote to take out of the game.
The wheel route?
Oh, without a doubt. You're just trying to move everybody in one direction. And whether it's a running back or another receiver, as they zip out on the sideline, you've got a problem on your hands.
Yeah, well, the defenders hate it there. It happened, and it resulted in a touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
51, Mike.
Throwing, Cousins. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Hey, 4 down.
Here's Cousins. And that's knocked away and incomplete. Coverage there by Kevon Seymour.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
On the return, here's Agnew. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Darius Slayton. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. The fly route works for the TD Graham.
And you know what the receivers love to say? If we get even with the defender, we're leaving. And that's exactly what he did, all the way into the end zone. And then he was on the business end catching it once he got over the stripe.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points on it. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Throwing is Cousins. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls when you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Cousins now. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Brandon Graham in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Detroit. Mark that down as a punt return of 78 yards. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. And we always talk about kick returns being so exciting on kickoffs. Punt return almost equally exciting.
And typically we talk about the kickoff return being the most exciting 10 seconds in football. Let's just cut it in half for a punt return and make it the most exciting 5 seconds in football. It's a great, glamorous, dashing play.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside.
Let's go.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, first half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Easy work. It's easy work, and it's coming again.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Trey Flowers, the former Arkansas Razorback, in there to get him. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long.
I'm coming. I'm coming.
Wide.
Spoke to Mike. Mike spoke.
Hey, Haywood.
Let's go, baby. 44 is the Mike. 44 is Mike. Check.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they get reeled in all the time when you sit on the ball. I think that they...
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Say hello to Eric Kendricks. He gets the sack there.
Well, maybe that can give them a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
Defense, let's go.
Stafford. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. Give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's 3rd down.
Right there. 54 Mike. You must be.
Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And he'll be stopped here well short of the 1st down at the 24-yard line. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. To get the football first as well as the second half is underway. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
We got this.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Ready.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Stafford. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, Detroit. 4th touchdown pass of the game for Matthew Stafford as his guys continue to pour it on.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. A'Shawn Robinson, too much to handle that time. Gets the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Cousins. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags, and I believe this is going to be a 1st down. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Well, now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there, but it's going to be 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
2nd and 10 now from the 27.
Strip that ball.
Cousins to throw it. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
On first down, a running play ends up going backwards as he won't get close to the line of scrimmage. In fact, he's going to lose 4 yards. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Now Stafford. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Shamar Stephen busting through to get him for a loss of 6. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation.
Alert! Check hot route. Hot.
Stafford now to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. They find some open field here. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
On the carry, it's Jackson. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
I'm going to run you over.
Now a play fake, and it's Stafford. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Matthew Stafford does it again. 5 touchdown passes as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point right down the middle, and that will extend this big lead. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They've got to dig down deep, and they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Third and long for Cousins. He'll find Thielen working the middle. And a loose football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
Well, as a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there.
Set. Yellow 80.
Right there.
Yellow 80.
Here it comes. Here it
comes.
They run the counter. Wooten looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Ben Gideon in on the stop.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Set. Lady.
54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. 1, 2, 3.
50.
They'll keep it on the ground. Wooten.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Ready. Lady.
Mike's by 4. Switch up.
On third down, Wooten. Give him 8 yards on the carry, and that's going to bring up fourth down.
Yeah, baby.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And his kick is good. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Now it's Martin to do the honors after the made field goal. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Now Cousins. And his throw is incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know, there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Cousins. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 46. And he will score. Touchdown, Lions. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. And now a carry here for their fullback. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 11 yards there, first down.
Watching that run takes me back to something a famous old coach once said. Any player he wants on his team, he wants him to be agile, mobile, and most definitely hostile.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Let him know, let him know.
Hey, can't.
Hey, turn it up.
Cousins gives way to Cook. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the 4th quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production, but how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started.
Watch the pass. Here we go.
They'll try to throw now. Cousins. And my goodness, another interception. Darius Slay with a pick. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And this belongs to the Vikings.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them passive, has it? I mean, they've dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback in the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the running game, and they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football. They start the drive with Cook, and it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
Leave it. Bring up 48.
It's going to be a long day, all
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Mike Bobo. Check.
3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak, not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Set. 180.
Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. That's right, baby.
On third down, this is Jackson. And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
The Vikings take over at their own 33-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
The tackle made there by Jared Davis.
1-yard gain brings up 2nd and 9.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On the ground, it's Cook. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Again, it's Cook. And he'll only get this to about the 35. Well short of the line to gain. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought up a punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
Here's Matt Weil now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11.
Set. Blue 60.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Ready?
And they will take a knee here.
Stafford on the keeper. A loss of a yard. It's now 3rd and 13.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. And they'll indeed take a knee. So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible. Yeah,
offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Detroit, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And now they get the weekend off as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Dallas Cowboys. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, things aren't looking good. It'll be an 0-5 start, and they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Nashville. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.